How much are you willing to sacrifice for your future self? How much work are you willing to put in without seeing any results for your future self? Excuse me. It's the number one thing that dictates whether someone is going to be successful or not. How much are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to sacrifice all those weekends that you used to use to go out just to stay inside, to put in work every single weekend until you see a result? And let me remind you, in case you didn't know or remember, sacrifice doesn't give a fuck about you. Sacrifice, it doesn't matter if you sacrifice for a day, a week, a month, a year. You have to be willing to sacrifice for decades. At least a decade, right? You could definitely see results before a decade, but you have to play the long game and understand, yeah, I'm willing to put in the work for 10 years. 10 fucking years. And if I don't see a result in the first 3, 4 years, I won't give up. Sacrifice is a commitment, right? And you have to be willing to sacrifice a lot of things in order to become successful, right? You have to sacrifice comfort, right? You have to sacrifice sometimes like family time too, like it's being successful is, of course, you see the glorified 1%, how their successful life looks so fun. But those who are truly successful, they probably work 99% of the time. They have big operations and they're sacrificing a lot just to be where they are. And don't get me wrong, they probably live an amazing life, right? And honestly, I strive to live a life like that. Just to the point where you don't have to worry about any financial problems. You have your location freedom. You don't have to look at the tag when you buy things. You can pay for dinners with all your family members, all your friends, whatever it is. But you have to be willing to work super hard. It's a cool quote that kind of sticks with me. In order to buy things without looking at the price tag, you have to work without looking at the clock. And I was like, damn. I was like, fuck, that's facts though, right? So you just have to be willing to sacrifice. And I don't know what your situation is, but this is a deep question to ask yourself, right? What are some things that you are doing right now in this current day that isn't benefiting you nor your future self, right? So what are the things you have to cut out and who are the people you have to cut out? That's a deep one, right? But you have to be real with yourself. You can't play this fake bullshit facade, especially if you actually want to become successful. Nah, you can't cut corners in this shit. Cutting corners leads you nowhere in life. Absolutely nowhere, right? You have to be willing to sacrifice and be completely honest, not only to yourself, but every single person you encounter. Those two things will take you far: sacrifice and honesty. And although I'm not where I want to be yet, those are my morals, and I understand that you actually have to be willing to. You have to be willing to sacrifice everything, everything. All those weekends that you want to go out, birthday parties that you missed, like it sucks, but it's it's life you choose, right? You have to be committed to it, and yeah, like it's not easy. It's just kind of like a rant, and I'm trying to be informative, but it's like it really has me thinking. But I'm doing it anyways because I just want to live an amazing life, not only for myself but for my future family. But yeah, ask yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice? Write it down on a piece of paper, and actually self-analyze and think deep. Right? That's something that people lack nowadays. Just being able to be conscious of their thoughts, to critically think, to analyze their life. Right? People just go day after day. Like I don't even. But some people don't even know the date. They don't even know the month. Like you know what I mean? It's like, bro, wake the fuck up. You can't be living your whole life on autopilot. Like it's crazy. I can't lie though. I was a victim of that. This is why I'm saying I like don't do it because I've done it before. But yeah, I'm not perfect. I'm not where I want to be yet. These are just videos to my younger self. So if my younger self was watching this, he'd be like, oh, okay, gotta listen. So that's the context of these videos. I'm kind of going all over the place, but yeah. What are you willing to sacrifice? And how long are you willing to sacrifice for? That's the real question. Because, like I said, sacrifice doesn't give a fuck about you. If you sacrifice for a day, 2 days a week, a month, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 or 5, 6, doesn't fucking matter. If you're willing to sacrifice for 10 years minimum, I promise you'll be successful. 110%. I would place a bet on that. I'd put the house on that. 10 years minimum, but you have to be willing to show up every single day for the 10 years. That's the catch. It's not like, okay, I can work for 10 years on and off. Like, 1 week I'll be productive, the other week I won't. It's like, bro, how bad do you want it? How bad do you really want that dream life that you always say you fucking wanted? Like, yeah. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. What are you willing to sacrifice?